Yes, new gameplay keeps on coming for Hogwarts Legacy, and we just got a first look at how acquiring the Hippogriff mount will probably look like when we get to play the game. Also, a first look at new companions, new teases, and a lot more to talk about before launch. And speaking of launch, if you're also excited for it, I've prepared not one but two giveaways for Hogwarts Legacy Deluxe Edition on all platforms. Simply be a subscriber of the channel, leave a like on this video and comment down below, and I will announce the winners ahead of the early access. But there's a new exclusive promo that's been spotted on the Sci-Fi channel, and please excuse the potato quality because this was the highest one that I was able to find. I tried upscaling it, but here is how it looks like. Now,
please meet Highwing. Isn't she just magnificent? Go on, introduce yourself to her, but be careful. You must always show hippogriffs the proper courtesy before you approach them.
Now, if you can endure the low resolution, this cutscene is likely what we'll get to see in-game once we've unlocked the Hippogriff mount. So we have Poppy and the player characters somewhere on the outskirts of the Hogwarts castle, waiting as the Hippogriff lands right in front of them. Interesting is that Poppy calls her Highwing, so the rumors we talked about a few days ago about her name are true, and this is the name of the mount that you're going to eventually get to fly with. Good to note is that according to the lore and footage released until now, we get to save Highwing at some point during a quest, maybe even a main story one, from a poacher's camp. We also know from some of the other missions that poachers have in fact made a habit of capturing all kinds of fantastic beasts, some of which we've seen used in fighting pits so they could make bets on and get some money, like how it is in the case of the poor dragons. Now, the cutscene ends just as we get to introduce ourselves to Highwing, and Poppy makes a remark to not forget to show hippogriffs the proper respect before approaching them. I'm pretty sure that right after this scene ends, we'll get to control our characters again and likely have to do a small mini game to get close to the mount. Maybe even avoid making sudden movements to not make it feel threatened. We also have a first look, by the way, at the Kneazle, a cat-like beast with large ears and plumed tail. They can be aggressive, but if they like you, they can make exceptional companions or pets. These creatures are highly intelligent and can detect suspicious or distrustful people. By the looks of it, we'll get to tame or rescue some of them at some point and likely bring them back to our vivariums. Kneazles can also be bred with normal cats according to the lore, and we do know that there are plenty of normal stray cats around Hogwarts that we can go ahead and pet. So the only question that remains is, can we breed the Kneazles with regular pets? Because that's also possible in the lore. And we do know that there's breeding pens in our vivariums that we get access to eventually, so there's probably a strong hint towards that, but who knows. What I'm looking forward to in case of pet breeding is maybe changing colors and maybe getting slightly different variants depending on the partners we pick. Outside of these two, we have another close look at the Mooncalf, another smaller creature that we can acquire at some point. It features enormous eyes and a shy personality, and they can be observed dancing when the light of the full moon hits the ground. Curious if that means in-game we only get to find them spawned in nights with a full moon, or is it in every night? I would assume that for gameplay reasons it's going to happen every night, but who knows. I would like to know your opinions down below. I do like these kind of conditional spawns when it comes to secrets and creatures. In any case, Avalanche does want us to collect them all, in which case I'm thinking that a lot of people will be quite happy with that. But on a more technical note, if you pre-order the game on Steam, especially the deluxe edition, there's still a chance that the app will not show the game release on the 7th, but on the 10th of February instead. Don't worry, that's just how the platform works. You're still going to get access to the game on the 7th if you got the deluxe edition. It's just that this is what happens with games that also have early play releases. And speaking of early releases, New Zealand and likely Australia might come even earlier than expected, with some users reporting Deluxe Edition already being listed as playable by the 6th of February, which talk about super early. And maybe even earlier than that, it seems that some UK retailers might give you the copies even 3 days earlier than that. So maybe by the 3rd, you might even get to play Hogwarts Legacy for the Deluxe Edition at the very least, by how I'm reading this. This is, by the way, for the Xbox for the most part, but PlayStation should feature something similar as well. Meanwhile, for the PlayStation crowd, do keep in mind that the preload, at least for the Deluxe Edition for the PlayStation 5, is going to be February 5th, so a couple of days in advance. Meanwhile, for PC, I'm pretty sure there's not going to be a preload, but you're just going to have to download the game once it launches, so hopefully your internet is going to be fast enough. Also, we got more info on the PC version, and Hogwarts Legacy does indeed support ray tracing options for shadows, reflections, ambient occlusion, and quality presets. I did play on the quality preset on my PlayStation 5 gameplay preview, and I do know that there was also a performance mode on that platform. Not sure if there's a third additional one too, so I believe that the quality already includes the RTX option as well. The difference is that performance mode lets you play 60 FPS but with lower quality and lower draw distance, while the quality version is just 30 FPS give or take. But yeah, it looks much better. Still no issue with either in my gameplay, as it was smooth in both of the situations. On a final note, one thing we haven't covered is that somebody did manage to get close to the Owlery, and I think that this is something that some of you maybe wanted to see, but this is basically the same shot closer thanks to the Wizarding World website. I believe there is even one user who did play the game that did manage to get inside of it, so maybe there is something for us waiting over there. We also do know that this is where our acceptance letter is sent from, at least according to the cinematic trailer. I'm not sure if the story will follow the same path. In any case, this is it with the news. Expect a lot more coming soon with the game's launch, and especially after launch, as we're gonna do a ton of gameplay previews and even more so tips, guides, and tricks. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.